First time, Lord. But it lines up. That's a good status that a man is looking for.
Man, I'm sorry to stop you. I sounded real fat right there.
Yeah, the cooking.
Yo. Man, welcome to the Brothers Podcast. This is your boy KD, better known as Dante.
And your boy E-Man, aka Emmanuel.
Yeah, man. So, man, what you got going on this week, man? What you doing?
Busy week. It is. My anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
On the 30th.
He married, y'all.
So, hey, anniversary coming up on the 30th. Give shout out to my wife, Kanisha Jones. I love you. 5 long years. 5 long years, bro.
Oh, you better than man.
Hey, it never knew.
I'm ready for you to make 100, bro. I'm ready for you to make 100.
That's the goal, man. You gotta keep it fresh. So
yeah.
So
everything's been going smooth this way too.
Right.
Everything's been going smooth this way. Just working, trying to stay awake, keep the grind going. Always grinding.
Always.
That's what we do best. That's what we do best. So we want to say welcome again. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Even comment. Make sure that you send us some things that you want to talk about, or some things that you might like to hear us talk about. We're always willing and open mind, open ears. This is real brothers, real conversation. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe at the link below, and we'll make sure that we get to you with whatever your discussion may be.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So this week, bro, tell us what we're talking about.
All right. So this week, topic. Well, I talked with one of my guys at work. Man, we just got to talking after work one night, and this is something that I see a lot of, especially in 2021, 2020, like for years, you've been on this scenario.
Right.
So we always hear about, example, a young woman in her 20s.
Mm-hmm.
She might be in college, might not, but her ideal man is somebody that got 6 figures at least, nice car, doing well. I want that type of man.
Yeah.
All right. So here was the conversation. Why do you feel like you deserve? Why did that girl feel like she deserved that? That man worked all his life, probably his 50s.
Right.
So this is all about your value as an individual.
Right.
So what value are you into this man's life?
It's a great question.
So before we go to that, so I want to go this way first. So I'll give you a definition of value or how value person in my perspective.
Right.
So I broke it down into 3 categories. We got status, so which like your success, how you doing in life, your money, your career, type of deal. That's one aspect. Second thing is your money. So I know they kind of go with your status, but it's on a different scale because you can have status and not have any money.
I'm telling you
at the same time. So
we talked about that last week.
Right. So
save your money, dog.
Right, save your money, invest your money. So the third one is social.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 3 kind of high value points where I want to come from.
Right.
So say you have a nice career. Somebody might see that successful, as we talked about in the first episode. That will attract some kind of value to somebody.
Right.
Somebody might see that. Oh, okay, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Exactly.
All right. Even if not on a career scale, just relationship wise, looking at a young lady that can cook well.
Yeah.
That's great status for you.
I'm telling you.
If you can cook and you provide some kind of safe haven for your man, that's a good status that a man is looking for.
Man, I'm sorry to stop you, bro. I sounded real fat right there.
Yeah, the cooking.
The food, bro. I can cook, but
right. A woman that can cook for you, man.
Man, it's a different story.
That's a major value that a woman can add to a man's life.
Right.
Even though some women look for a man that can cook too.
Right.
So that's a big part of your status.
Yeah.
So everything is not based off your money and all the stuff material wise. It's the little things you can do that can add a big value to relationships.
Right.
Okay.
And I think that's something we wanted to talk about too, was make sure that we introduce both perspectives because we're 2 young men that are talking about this topic. So a lot of times we can speak heavily from what we expect from the women.
Right. And
a lot of times we don't really see from the women's perspective. But at the same time, we're 2 individuals that I believe value themselves very highly. You know what I'm saying? Or we understand our value.
Right.
My net worth might not be, but 60, 70,000.
But still.
But it's the mindset where we're trying to go, right?
Got that $1 billion mindset.
That's it. So you got something else for us?
Yeah, so that was just that was on the first category. Second category was that money, like we talked about before. Having money or so-called money is assets. Like you might have a business, you might have, like me, I got vending machines. That's an asset that somebody looking at, like, hey, he got some value to him.
Yeah.
He's trying to do some extra side hustle, stuff like that. Anything that you can categorize as money or something like asset-wise, that can be a high value to somebody.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly, social. This is one of the big misconceptions of having value.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you can put on makeup, take a picture all day long, living in somebody's basement. All right.
Yeah.
So you can have, but people are attracted to that social status because that's something that you seeing, you can post. He look good, she look good. It make it, man, you can fake it till you make it.
Right.
Until you get in a relationship and see that value is really not as deep as the first two.
Yeah.
So the relationship won't last as much.
Right.
Because after a while, you're gonna get old. Face gonna start wrinkling up.
Man.
It's gonna fade away eventually. So what do you have to back that up?
I don't know if you noticed, bro, but I got a gray hair on my chin, man. We get old, bro. So you see?
Yeah.
Man.
It'll sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how people, they get patience to that social status. Oh, he got 1,500,000 followers.
Yeah.
So that following, you can put it into good use. You can make money off of it.
Yeah.
But it's all about how you use it. Just to be bragging, like I got all these followers, it's not gonna help you none.
Exactly.
You might get some women, but it won't last.
Right.
So
yeah. So I'm glad that you brought that up, bro. And I'm glad that we're having this topic. I think that it's something that's necessary for the time. I think it's something that's necessary, especially for our generation and even the generation to come, because I think now the younger generation that's coming up, they really don't understand what it means to be valued or what value is.
Right.
You know, they've been taught wrong. I'm not gonna say they've been taught wrong, but they've taken their teachings and created their own.
The internet it's
has
kind of like
killed the value.
Right, but it's all about interpretation.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Bible. It's all about interpretation.
That's it.
So if an influencer can say, hey, if that red shirt, they can turn around and say that shirt blue.
Right.
It's gonna be at least 100,000 people like, oh, that shirt blue.
Exactly.
So that generation it's easy to manipulate them into things like that.
Right. So you gave us 3 topics, or sort of 3 bullet points to what we want to discuss in the value of men and women. So let's take these and sort of break them down. So what's the first one? Let's go from the first one and sort of work our way down.
All right. So the first one was your status and success. So kind of broke it down, but let's go I can use this as a solution.
Right.
So solution wise, to build your status up, I would say that's like people going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
That could be one way. You can go back to school. Going back to school will give your social status good because you're gonna post it online. You can be happy. I'm going to class. I'm grinding.
Yeah.
When you graduate, it's gonna bring you money up.
Yeah.
It's gonna have all 3 categories. Just going to school by itself.
Yeah.
Working hard. Even it can be something simple from going from a regular employee to a manager.
Man.
That's a social. That's a leveling up.
Yeah.
Just go to that next level will improve your status so much.
Right.
At least trying to go to the next level.
Right.
So it's all about putting that work in on that social side. What you got for the social?
And I think for the social side, what I had written down was to be versatile. You know, and I think that it's very important because a lot of times we find ourselves in the norm or staying with what has been tradition.
Right.
You know, as you see in the previous years, and no shade to this, but you know, normally we as families would get together and we would do the traditional Thanksgivings or the traditional Christmas, you know, atmosphere. But then COVID has switched up a lot of things. Number one.
Yeah.
But number 2, I think people have grown out of the tradition. You know, so now you don't find people cooking, dressing, and turkey and ham. I mean, they still do, but I mean, it's become an everyday lifestyle. And so now, on those days, it's like, oh, I don't want dressing, or I don't want turkey. You know what I'm saying? So now we're talking about people are doing the seafood boils, or you know, for my family especially, like You know, we might have dressing on the stove,
Right.
but I'm outside grilling 12 racks of ribs
Same way.
because I mean that's just
That's
what
what
we
it's
prefer.
food. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's another thing too, tradition. Because like holidays and stuff, we know every year who house we going to on Thanksgiving.
exactly.
Who house we going to this holiday. It always been the same thing, but here recently, it's like we take like, what we going? Like what we're doing, like we're confused. This COVID thing has really shifted everything,
Right.
and then they really want you a lot of people, so it kind of throw you off.
Right. So the research is sort of back on the versatile side. I know we sort of went left just a little bit,
Right.
but I think that when we become versatile, that's being able to be interested in more than just one type of woman or man.
That's true.
You know, we talk about value, but a lot of times we stretch ourselves to what tradition has set us to as well. You know,
because it's comfortable.
Right, but it's something that we have to talk about. We're in a diverse world, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we want to believe it or not, whether we want to accept it or not, we're in a diverse world. So you're gonna have those Caucasians who want to date African Americans, vice versa. You know, you're gonna have those African Americans who want to date the Hispanic race or Latino race, vice versa. So we have to make sure that we're versatile in that and give people a chance. You know,
That's
and
true.
I think that that's something that we have to sort of open our minds to. Although you're married, I mean, so you really can't give nobody a chance.
Right, a chance is gone.
That's over. That's
chance is bingo.
But you know, for those who are listening, you know, that is something we can't stay in our comfort zone.
Right.
We have to be able to sort of spread our wings.
And that's how you move to that next level.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable and you're getting the same results, that's kind of what the issue is. You need to go ahead, get uncomfortable, and change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So they always say, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's it, man. That's it.
Always be uncomfortable.
And I think that we sometimes can, you know, talking about the value perspective too, we are looking for that particular value, and I'm sure we're going to get into that, of that particular man or woman in that one race.
Right.
However, who was to say that the value of a man or a woman that I'm looking for might be that next person of that different color
you never know.
Or that other diverse individual. You know, we have to step out of our comfort zone and find what it is that we're looking for if that's truly what we're searching for.
Right. So another thing, so your gift might be wrapped up in something, a whole different factor. The thing is, though, sometimes you got to be patient and focus on yourself.
Yeah.
If you focus on yourself leveling up, the people will attract.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you said that, bro, because if you see the shirt that I have on today, it says you are enough.
Right.
More than enough. So I think that was something I written down as well. We have to talk about our own. So what are some tips that you can give some folks to increase their personal value as they get ready to reach towards, you know, success or value in that man or that woman that they're looking for?
Right. So, like I said, like social, like looking the part, that's a big thing. So if you know that you want somebody successful that's already got that status, I would go start dressing the part. That's the first step. Change your wardrobe up.
Yeah.
Because they not gonna notice you wearing t-shirt and jeans every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have to put on a collar shirt.
Right.
Sometimes you might have to go put on a dress.
Right.
Throw some heels on. You kind of look the part.
Versatile.
Right.
Versatile. We just got done talking about
right. Because if it's I'm a Caucasian man and I want an African American lady and she not getting her hair done, she not doing nothing, I gotta have some kind of status. If I'm wealthy, I need some kind of status beside me.
Yeah.
You might not have the financial side, but we can work on that.
That's right.
I got that part of it.
Yeah.
Just bring me what you have and add value to my life, and I'll make sure you take care of it.
Right.
And you just gotta bring something to the table.
And that's something I had written down, bro. I love writing notes. I don't know if y'all noticed or not. I love writing notes. We always make sure that we are, try to be versatile in what we talk about as well. But there's something else that I talked about.
Yeah. And
that I wrote down because we've been setting our ways so long, and we've been constantly doing. We have a routine that we set up, and a lot of times we fray away from that routine, and instead of being disciplined in our efforts to become more valuable. So say value and success go hand in hand, and I hope that you all listened to last week's podcast. But if I'm working, so like you were talking about earlier, if I'm a regular employee, but if I can't show up on time, if I can't dress the part, if I can't have a belt on pants on. And so my shirt isn't tucked in.
Right.
How do I expect to become a manager?
Right.
I can't.
Preparation.
There's no way. There's no way to elevate or increase your value if you're stuck in the same patterns that you're doing. You have to sort of change some things. Be more disciplined about who you are and take more self-care in yourself.
Right. That mindset is a powerful thing.
It's very powerful.
That's why most preach so much on mindset.
Yeah.
Because if you have a mindset and you have millions of dollars and you lose all your money, you still got that mindset. You know how to build it back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna you're gonna be sad, but you be like, all right, don't get back on my grind. I know what it takes. I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Right.
So that mindset is gonna play a major key. So another point I want to bring to you.
All right.
All right. Like you said earlier, most people gonna overvalue themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So like me and my mindset, in my mind I'm just the best thing smoker.
Right.
And my wife's mindset, I better be the best thing smoker.
Be.
Right. But
if not now, you
know. Got an issue.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So going to like the point I heard today. So if you saw yourself as an idol and you took yourself to the pawn shop and they told you, in your mind, you worth $1,000.
Right.
Just on the scale, I worth $1,000. And they be like, all right, I can offer yourself $20. Now, you be like, man, I know I'm worth $1,000.
Right.
You just know that the world, your true value is $20.
Yeah.
Now, how would that make you feel?
Well, I mean, you know, I see, I think when we talked about that as well a little bit, I see it a little bit different because, you know, we can't take what people think and use that to our advantage or use that to our disadvantage.
True.
We can't allow people, you cannot allow people to price your value.
Right.
Because technically we're priceless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In Christ's eyes, number one, you know, we have to talk about that. We have to make sure that we understand that who we are and whose we are. You know?
That's true.
And so once we get that understanding of our true value, then we can go a whole lot further by understanding who we are. However, what I do want to tell the people is you cannot be stuck in your value.
That's true.
I wrote down, it says, don't boast in your value, but allow your value to speak for you. Don't boast in your value, but allow your value to speak for you. In some point in time in life, and the reason why I said that is because I got this quote off of Google. Thank God for Google. Right. But values are like fingerprints. Nobody's are the same, but we leave them all on everything we do. Say that one more time.
That's true.
Values are like fingerprints. Nobody's are the same. We're all unique, but we leave them on everything that we do. So we have to make sure that not only do we live in our value, it's okay to live in your value, but don't boast in it. Allow Christ to elevate you. Allow your value to speak for you. When you're talking to people, or when you're, you know, mentoring, or when you're in a group setting, your friend group should be a direct reflection of your value. I don't hang around with this guy just because, you know, we've been knowing each other for years.
Right.
It's because every day, or when we do get a chance to talk, because we're busy men, but when we do get a chance to value or talk to each other, we value each other's opinion.
Right.
And we know each other's value. And so we help, you know, encourage each other's value. We help find a way to increase the value of each other. And so I think that that's something that everybody needs to know. Place yourself in a group or a circle that's going to value you.
Right. Yeah. And that is very true. They always say your closest 5 friends. 5 broke people, I'll show you the 6th one.
Wow. Wow.
And that's true because the people I hang around.
Yeah.
If I'm at the bottom, I see people like, we can go for success. They see me successful.
Yeah.
All right. The 5th person in my group might not be successful at all. Ain't got nothing going for themselves. But I did have somebody tell me like, look, you know what? I've been hanging around y'all. I'm gonna start doing this. That network would change somebody's mindset because they were like, man, he felt convicted. He was like, man, you doing this, he doing that, he doing that. I gotta do something. He said, 2 months, I'm gonna be doing something. I'm gonna be right up.
Right.
So you know what that needs to make me do?
What's that?
Level up.
Gotta level up. Gotta level up.
So whatever I'm doing, I gotta do it 2 times as hard now. So that way, if you want to take everybody with you, they all got to be moving in that direction.
Right.
At the same time, when you move up, you're going to have people on that other level.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of people I'm networking with outside the state that's way above me, making me work hard.
Right.
It's all about where I'm going to place myself.
It's all about perspective, where you see yourself. You know, I'm glad that we've discussed these things. And, you know, it's sort of great that in our past 3 podcasts, everything has sort of been lining up together. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's talking about success or whether it's talking about values, they're all sort of aligning because we're trying to build a community that's growing.
Right.
You know, I think that that's something that we're trying to share with the people as well. Is we're 2 young individuals, sort of like the Bible say, we're iron sharpening iron. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're growing together, but we're doing this so we can help somebody else increase their value. Because I think a lot of times there's people out here who have depreciated themselves.
Right.
You know, we talked about last week how you can't sell a car for the same value that you bought it for
10 years ago.
Why?
It ain't the same price.
Because it lost its value. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's the upkeep that makes it run.
Right.
So we have to do some self-upkeep.
Right. You constantly got to get better.
Constantly got to get better. So to sort of wind this down a little bit, let's talk more on the relationship side. So from a female's or from our perspective, and I know you're married, so I mean it's probably gonna be a question more for myself, but I want to hear your perspective. So when you're looking for a young individual who's looking for a woman who feels like that they value themselves, what should they look for?
All right. So you can go 2 different ways with it. So it's about what value for yourself is you looking for.
Yeah.
Some men ain't looking for nobody that can cook.
Yeah.
So you got 2 different mindsets. Oh, this one here wants somebody to cook. This one here don't care for it. Whatever. I'll pay for it. We'll go out to eat. So it's all about looking at yourself, doing a self-evaluation on yourself first.
Yeah.
Always start with yourself. Like, what do I want? Write that down. Everything that you want, write that down. All right. So when you got that list of 20 things, you got to be realistic. At least half of them you ain't finna get.
At all.
Half of them things you can go ahead and be like, well, I might not need somebody to drive a Mercedes. I'm gonna go and mark it off.
Right.
So you gotta be kind of realistic with yourself and be like, hey, what is tangible? And what? All right. After those 10, you be like, all right, cool. Am I fit for that person?
Right.
Will I be fit for that person? What steps can I take to make myself available for that person to notice me? You got to be prepared.
You know I'm right, bro.
All right, you're right.
Yeah, all right.
You're all right. But you got to be prepared. Because if I was single right now, all people I know right now, it wouldn't cut it. Because I know what I want.
Yeah.
I know what I'm looking for. So it would be harder. I know today's generation, it'd be harder for you to get somebody. Because you know what's your credit score?
And people don't think about that at all.
Yeah.
They don't think about it.
It affects both our lives.
Yeah.
I need to know what kind of, like, what your parents did, what your mama did, what your daddy did. It's a little bit different now. Right. You got to be more cautious of who you talking to because they'll switch up on you.
Right. So I want to take that and I want to use it just to an extent on the self-evaluation point. So he told us to self-evaluate ourselves. So one thing that we have to do in that self-evaluation is once we find what our value is,
right.
Once we figure out how much we think that we're worth or what our value is, then there's 2 things to do. In my perspective, you can think differently and that's okay.
Right.
But number 1, you need to find somebody who is just as valuable as you are.
Right.
Or their value equals out to who you are. And be content with that.
Right.
But if you want more, then you need to find someone whose value is above what you are, but is willing to help bring you up with them.
Right. And grow together.
Grow together. Because if you got somebody who is completely, or if you got this 6-figure man, just so to speak, that drives a Mercedes, that has a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house, you know, no kids, you know, successful, so to speak, what we would call successful. He might not look the best, but he has his ducks in a row, so to speak.
Right.
So if you have that, but at the same time you have nothing to bring to the table, where are we going with that? What happens? How can you grow like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to find he has to be ready to build you with him. You know what I'm saying?
And take that time out because you using his time.
Yeah.
Any man that's successful gonna not have too much time.
Yeah.
If you really want somebody successful, you want somebody that's gonna have a lot of time with you, you don't want nobody successful.
Nah.
You know. If you want time, yeah, it ain't about the best thing for you.
We talked about we talked about this too, bro. You can't expect to have a 40-hour a week guy with a 60-hour a week guy salary.
Ain't gonna work.
It doesn't work that way.
That man gonna be busy.
Yeah, for sure. Even if he does work 40 hours, unless you can find somebody who works 40 hours and makes a 60-hour a week figure,
right?
Then you talk about something different. But everybody's not like that. Just like he told us earlier, let's be realistic. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Got to.
Yeah. So
because the world is unforgivable.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So let's go back to the friend level.
Okay.
This can be friend and this any relationship.
Yeah.
An individual that is high value and know they have value will not have no regrets cutting you off if you're not bringing no value. Like you said, bring something to the table.
Yeah.
I ain't feel bad. If I cut you off, I ain't feel bad.
Yeah.
If I'm allowing you to get away, even if it's on accident, if I don't call you for a week and it don't hurt me,
yeah,
that means you're not valuable. If I can afford to lose you, I don't need you.
Yeah. That makes sense, man.
Because if you have value, I'll call him like, man, hey, how you doing today? If I know you're going to bring me lunch today, I'm like, I'm going to call. But like, hey, man, I know you, what's up, man? I'm going to bring you lunch today.
Right.
Give back. It's not all about taking.
Yeah.
You got to provide something. But I would not regret cutting you off if you ain't bringing no value.
And I think that that's the key too, and that's for those who are listening who are having trouble with, succeeding or moving forward and progressing in their value. You have to let people go. It's okay to dump their weight sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I ain't saying, you can cut them off, but they don't need to be so close.
Right. Everybody isn't your assignment.
Right.
And that's something that everybody has to take in effect in their mind. It's okay to be cordial. It's okay to be, friendly, but everybody isn't your assignment.
Right. You can't take up all my time.
You can't continue to waste your time. After a while, and I know that this might be a little far stretch, but I'm crazy. If my air filter doesn't change after 2 or 3 months, the air gonna get bad, right?
Yeah, it's gonna start clogging up your car.
Sometime or another, you're gonna have to change that filter. So after a while, it's just like I got a water filter in there. You got to change that too.
Get your oil changed. Change your oil. Change your frame.
Self-maintenance. Maintain.
Get you a long way.
Make sure you put yourself in line for yourself to be successful as well as to grow in your value. Sometimes it's okay to drop that waist. Grass, even the same way. There's so many different examples we can use.
Right.
But when you cut grass, if I don't cut that grass, growth won't ever come.
Right.
If I don't wash my hair or take down them braids, women, they got dandruff in them all day long. If I don't take time to wash those out, that new growth gonna end up dying after a while. Right. Hair gonna break off. So you have to keep redoing maintenance.
Bro, got another example. I watched this movie for the first time this week. Don't laugh. First time watching Come to America, all the way through.
You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
First time, Lord. But it lines up this.
Come to America 2 is coming in a month. Oh, in a couple months.
I had to be fresh. I had to be fresh, bro. Look, the woman that was supposed to be his wife.
Yeah.
She said, I prepared for this my whole life. They won't prepare her whole life for this successful man.
Man.
And women think they just deserve to be with somebody.
Right.
All my life, I'm willing to. That's gonna be my man. I'm gonna work every day. She working every day to learn what she needs to learn, what you like, to get you.
Yeah. But I'm gonna end with this. Glad you said it. So we just talked about this, the common, and that brought a different light and a different perspective to this thought process. And I think that this is a great way to end too. When we talk about this, we have to take into account that in everything we do, as Christian believers, we got to implement Christ some way, somehow. And I want to make sure we end this way.
Right.
She prepared her whole life to be queen to the king. But we realized that she wasn't what he desired. Right? So I think in long terms, we have to make sure that we align our plan with what God's plan is for us.
Right.
A lot of times we take into effect that we have our own personal plan, we have these personal thoughts, and it's okay to have those. Mm-hmm. But in our daily prayer, daily activities, and our daily lifestyle, we have to make sure that we ask Christ, hey man, and it's okay to talk to God like he's our friend.
Oh, that's how I talk to him.
He's our friend. Like, hey man, I love you, Lord, but align me for who I'm aligned for. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in a perspective that's not for you, because a lot of times you'll find yourself in a situation that ain't right for you. That's not predestined for you. God has everything in our lives already mapped out. Right. He knows when He's going to pull our card. Mm-hmm. He knows when He's going to bless us. Mm-hmm. He knows when He's going to punish us. Mm-hmm. So
it's kind of like it's already predestined.
It's already there. It's already there. So that's like I was talking about earlier. We're priceless. Right. So everybody should know their value. Understand your value.
We're not saying you value less.
Right.
You have value.
Everybody has value.
But the person that you seeking might not see your value as value.
Right. So we have to make sure that God aligns that. So, in our daily talk with God, man, if you're single, you know what I'm saying, take time out to say Christ or talk to Christ or whoever your belief is in, whoever your God is, talk to them and say, hey, I need to know, or put me in a line with who you align with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got any shout outs this week, man?
Shout outs this week. Who we got this week? I want to shout out my boy Conrad. That's why I had the conversation with for this week's podcast. We're gonna get him on. Yeah. It's gonna be a good podcast with him. Very animated, does music, so it's gonna be a good podcast. Give a shout out to him this week. You got anybody?
Man, I'm gonna shout out my brother, Mardarius Thomas.
Yes.
Man, the great guys. You see the shirt I have on. It says you are enough, more than enough. Shout out to M3 Corporate Coach. We're going to drop his link below under the YouTube channel in the comments to make sure. Go like, share, and subscribe to his page.
Go buy some shirts.
Buy some shirts, merchandise. If you need your resume done, cover letters, I promise you, he's going to hook you up right now. He's the best in the business. I got a job off of him. Yeah. All right, man. We out. Peace.